So we're going to talk now about how to go from the vision, getting clarity on your vision, to actually turning it from something that might seem like a fantasy to actual reality. And this is where so many of us struggle. It's very easy to live up in the vision. That's in many ways, for those of us who are change agents, who are on a mission to do something important, to make some big change in the world, the vision is very compelling. But actually translating it into a concrete set of actions that takes you from that someday vision all the way down in a literal sequence right to this very moment where you're taking purposeful action right now. That is one of the biggest challenges. And it is so easy for us to lose our way. We might dig in and develop that compelling vision that's pulling us forward. But then we don't go to the next step of actually figuring out what is the action, what is the sequence, the chain of actions that I need to take all the way from that someday vision right down to this very moment. And the good news is that this is not rocket science. It does take discipline. And that's why we've spent so much time already really digging in to get clarity around your vision. Because when you have an incredibly compelling vision for joyful impact, a vision that is going to make a big difference in the world and that is personally fulfilling and joyful to you, then you're going to want to figure out how to make that a reality. And not to have it be a fantasy, but to actually help it come true in the world, to bring it forward. And again, the more compelling that vision is, the more strong it is as an anchor that you can really use to throw forward into the future and then pull yourself into that future. But the only way to do that is actually by taking action. And the only way to take action is in this moment. This is one of these crazy things, but the moment is all we ever have to work with. So many of us live in our heads. We live in the future, we live in the past, but this moment, it's constantly passing us by. This moment, that's what we have to take action in. And an extraordinary life is really just a stack of extraordinary moments in which you had an extraordinary experience, in which you took action, in which you made progress towards that vision. So I know that many of us who are on this journey, and I'm hearing from you all, this is a big challenge. How do we go from that vision into a concrete action plan? And Gary Keller wrote a book called Your One Thing. And it is really, this is an important resource. I encourage you to actually read the book. But what we're going to do right now is just take this concept, this idea of focusing on the one thing, such that by doing it, everything else on your journey to that ultimate vision becomes easier or even unnecessary. And getting that clarity of focus on what is that one thing, and attaching that concept of a one thing to a specific set of time horizons that are like milestones on your journey to that ultimate vision of joyful impact. And some of us resist forming goals. And I think a lot of the times, this is because when we create a goal, we almost get afraid that we won't achieve it. And so to protect ourselves, sometimes we even resist establishing clear goals and benchmarks. So you can think of this process however you like, but the point of it is that you need to have clarity about what to do this moment, this day, this week, this month, in order to make progress towards that vision. And instead of laddering up from this moment forward, this process actually works the other way. And so that's why we've already done some work establishing a vision statement, that two-part vision statement, your what and your why. And if you haven't already done that, now is the time, this moment is the time to go back and do that, and make sure that you have something that is truly compelling to you around your what it is you're going after and why you're going after it, the impact that you're seeking, and the joy and fulfillment that you're seeking personally as well. And so with that in place, now we're going to apply Gary Keller's methodology to create that chain of action. And the first, first we have this ultimate vision, right? This two-part vision, your what and your why. So you get crystal clarity on that. Next, we're going to look at a 5-year time horizon. Okay? And so the prompt here, and this is all in the worksheet, but the prompt is, what is the one thing that you can do in the next 5 years such that by doing it, everything else on the path to your ultimate vision becomes easier or even unnecessary? Now, for some of you, you may immediately have a super clear idea about what that one thing is. Others, you may need to dig deeper. But you want to really give this some thought, because this is like if you get to this 5-year thing, if you can accomplish the goal that you develop here, you're going to be so close to that full vision. And for some of you, 5 years may not be quite the right time frame. Some of you, you might want to use 3 years. But I have found that 5 years is a good one for when your vision is a big one. 5 years out, you can make tremendous progress in 5 years. And so I would encourage you to start here. Next, when you have clarity about that one thing that you can do over the next 5 years, and by the way, this is important language, that you can do. This is not an impossibility. It's something that you can do. It's action that you can take over the next 5 years. So the next thing then is, what is over a 1-year time horizon? What is the one thing that you can do in the next year such that by doing it, everything else on your journey to that 5-year goal becomes easier or even unnecessary? So you're starting to get the idea here. So next, we're going to look at 3 months. What is the one thing that you can do in the next 3 months such that by doing it, everything on your journey to that 1-year goal becomes easier or even unnecessary? This is the action chain, right? We're working backwards. And so now we get 1 month out. What is the one thing that you can do this month such that by doing it, everything else on your journey to that 3-month goal becomes easier or even unnecessary? Okay, this seems tedious, but believe me, if you take the time to do this all the way from that someday all the way down, it's really going to be worth it. So what is the one thing that you can do this week such that by doing it, everything else on your journey to that 1-month goal becomes easier or even unnecessary? And you guessed it. What is the one thing you can do today such that by doing it, everything else on your journey to that 1-week goal becomes easier or even unnecessary? And now we get right here and now, this moment. And so this is how, when you have an action chain like this, you can actually have clarity in this moment, which is all you ever have to take action. What is the one thing you can be doing to move yourself forward all the way in an unbroken chain of action to that ultimate vision? And that is how you connect and make the future come true in this moment. So this seems maybe like a simple exercise, maybe even to some of you like a tedious exercise. But I guarantee you, if you take the time to do this, it will pay tremendous dividends. And what I have done is created for myself a page that I carry around in that black book that I've showed you before. And it has my ultimate vision, my 5-year goal, my 1-year goal, and my goal for the quarter, for 3 months. And that's on the first page of the book that I carry around with me. And then I have a separate system on a monthly basis, a weekly basis, and a daily basis for actually writing down what my one thing is. And that way I have a reference point that I can go back to that shows me my ultimate vision, my 5-year goal, my 1-year goal, and my goal for this quarter. And that's evergreen. I look at that every week as I'm setting my plan for the week. I remind myself, and that's really energizes me because it carries me forward. It reminds me, yes, I am taking action that's going to get me to that ultimate vision. And so I really urge you to take some time, and the worksheet here walks you through this process. And by the way, if you haven't done sort of your personal vision, your what and your why, you have an opportunity to do that again at the start of this worksheet. So dig in, take the time that you need to do this, and then once you have it, you'll of course find that you need to keep updating it on a daily, weekly, monthly basis so that it's evergreen and it really becomes a touchstone for you, so that you have that clarity in this moment and you know that you're stacking your moments up to an extraordinary journey of joyful impact. If you like this video and you want to access the worksheet or any other material that goes with it, just click the link below or head on over to joyfulimpact.co. That's the website where we have all the material we use for working with coaching and personal development for change agents. You can set up a free account in the members area, and you can also check out the blog where we have new content coming out all the time. Why are we putting all this out there for free? Because the world has never been more in need of a new greatest generation of change agents. I hope this material is helpful to you, and if it is, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. That will help us spread the word.